Madam Chair, I find this bill to be an incredible overreach. The sponsor, all of you know this bill very clearly contradicts the Constitution, the decision by the Supreme Court. You can't possibly not know that. You're making an attempt to do something that you know to be unconstitutional. The sponsor could not list one place where a person could carry a weapon, not one. How does that not directly contradict your constitutional right? It's insane what's happening in this bill. I'm going to submit a committee statement to that effect, a minority committee statement to solidify for the permanent record how directly contradictory this bill is to the Constitution. It's really disappointing that you would put forth such an egregious piece of legislation. And I want to know who's going to take responsibility when that law-abiding person trying to exercise their constitutional right accidentally violates a provision of this bill, which is so restrictive that you can literally carry a weapon nowhere. Who among you is going to take responsibility when that person goes to jail? Because as the sponsor said, when I was asking him, he thought it was okay for someone to be charged a third-degree crime because they're walking down their street with their dog goes to the bathroom on private property, and they reach over to pick it up. The sponsor says it's okay to charge that person with a third-degree crime. You're making criminals of the law-abiding citizen. You are directly violating the U.S. Constitution. And nobody makes any bones about it. And in addition to the fact that this bill is completely wrong on so many levels, you are going to commit financial resources, as you know, because the sponsor said today that the only thing that's sure for today is that there will be a lawsuit around here for this. You're going to commit state resources to defend a piece of legislation that is completely backwards, and it is an assault on our constitutional rights. This bill is wrong. It is wrong. And when we have to go through all these hoops to ask all these questions about what we're allowed to do, it shows you that the average person is going to have no clue. How can they possibly know? Again, you've taken this way too far. This is a bad, very bad piece of legislation that's going to harm innocent, law-abiding people and directly goes against the U.S. Constitution, and you know it, and you should be ashamed of it. I vote no.
Women can carry a concealed firearm in any place a man can. I don't know why there's a gender-specific
It's not a gender-specific
slant on the
issue.
conversation.
It's not. It's really just trying to figure out where a person can, and where you're asked that question. You've identified
They could
so
carry
many,
it anywhere on their person as long as it's concealed.
in any of the, but not in these sensitive places.
No, would
Correct.
you want them to carry it in any of these sensitive
I don't
places?
have a right. It's not what Vicki Flynn wants. It's what the Constitution says, and what the Second Amendment said is incorporated by the 14th Amendment, and what the United States Supreme Court just said in Bruin. It's not according to me. I don't have feelings as it relates to the law. I mean, and you asked me my question, do I have a gun? No, I don't. Would I apply for a permit? No. But that doesn't mean I have to sit here and apply the law as written and make sure that we're not wasting the taxpayers' dollars in defending a law that can't be defended. That's my biggest issue, Assemblyman. That's one of the largest issues I have, is that we're putting in place a law that does not conform with the Second Amendment. Anyone with a law degree would look at this and say this does not conform with the Second Amendment. It's going to be challenged, and we're going to spend a lot of dollars, and Assemblyman McKeon and I can disagree on the Constitution.
Yes, I do have a law degree, and I disagree with you.
Right.
So, and I bet I'm not the only person. So.
No, but I think it relates to a policy, and I don't think if you're trying to identify and be consistent with the recent decision of the Supreme Court, this law is going to do it.
You know this bill very clearly contradicts the decision by the Supreme Court. You can't possibly not know that. You're making an attempt to do something that you know to be unconstitutional. The sponsor could not list one place where a person could carry a weapon, not one. Can you give one example, other than the one I already presented to you, of me me walking down the center of my own street, where you can legitimately concealed carry a weapon under the constitutional right that you said you believed we had. Just one place.
You can carry everywhere in New Jersey unless it's listed in this bill.
But Assemblyman, everywhere is listed in the bill.
That's not true.
Is there any place that you could think of that I think you utilize the concealed carry permit without getting permission of some sort,
You're asking me, is there anywhere else you can go with a,
other than my personal property, without getting some type of
you
permission?
can go everywhere that's not prohibited by law.
I know, but I'm looking for some place within the scope of this bill that would allow it. It seems like every place is outlawed.
No, everywhere is allowable unless it's listed in everywhere.
Again, I'm not trying to be combative. Just one example of some place that you could think of that I could carry it.
Well, my examples are not the bill. No, the bill is the bill.
It's insane what's happening in this
The
bill.
last thing I want to say to people, and some of my own Democrats have commented to me, this does nothing to stop the illegal gun trade or the illegal possessions or criminal content. You're right. This doesn't. It was never supposed to address that. This is addressing the legal, law-abiding, responsible citizens. That's what it's designed to do.